Today we're going to be making a simplified daisy chain necklace. It's so easy. It might look complicated, but it's not, and everyone's going to love it. Hey guys, I'm Katie, and today we're making a simplified daisy chain necklace. You may have seen my other YouTube video on daisy chain jewelry, and we make a really cute bracelet with really small beads. But today, we're gonna get simple. We're gonna make an awesome necklace with larger beads and a really easy pattern. So this is great for beginners and really easy to do. Let's get started. Let's go over the tools and supplies for this project. You're gonna need a flush cutter, a chain nose plier, flat nose plier, a crimping plier. This is the Amtara crimper. I'm using Supple Max cord. It's a clear illusion cord that you can crimp and string on. I like it because it kind of hides in between the beads, so you can use regular stringing wire if you want. A bead stopper, chain for the back of your necklace, a clasp, 2 closed jump rings, 2 1.8 millimeter crimps. These are crimp tubes. And you're gonna need beads. These are 6 millimeter shell pearls, and these are gemstone beads that are gonna go in between the flowers. So you can use any beads as long as you can get your stringing material through this bead twice. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna start by laying my pattern out on my bead mat, and the pattern goes as follows. You're gonna do 1 gemstone bead, 5 petals. I'm just gonna lay it out like this. I like to have my bead mat under my surface when I work. When I'm doing stringing, it really helps to keep the beads from flying all over the place. So, love my bead mat. All right, so I have laid out my general pattern, and this is what we're gonna be making today. So I laid it out here for you to see. And the next step is to take your cord and cut about 3 feet or so. If you're gonna make a really long beaded segment, you will need more, but that just depends on the size beads you're using and the length. And put your bead stopper on one end here. Okay. So start by stringing one of your gemstone beads, and then you'll string 5 petal beads. Okay, now you're gonna go back through the first 2 white beads, going in the same direction as the whole piece. So take the little tail of your Supple Max there. We're gonna go back through those 2 beads. Okay. You can see that. Okay, now just pull that tail. Oops. That slipped off. I'm just gonna put it right back on, and then I'm gonna pull tight. There's our little flower. So then we're just gonna repeat that pattern. I'm gonna make 5 little flowers. Next is your little gemstone bead. Then 5 white beads. And once again, just take the tail and go back through the first 2 pearls. This is why it's important to have beads that you can go through twice for this design. And just pull that tail. And there's another little flower. So another cool thing about this design is that you don't have to worry about spacing. You can move the flowers down anytime during the beading process. Like you can move them up, you can scoot them down, you just kind of pull and pull. Normally I think that you're kind of stuck when you're weaving and then you sometimes run out of cord and all that kinds of stuff. So this is a neat little design. And I'm just gonna keep going. Just a reminder that you can do as many flowers as you want. Here I've done 8 flowers, but you could just do 1, you could do 3, you can do as many or as few as you want. Also, here's a little example. It's not finished, but you can see that I used different colors for the flowers and different sizes. So you can really just make it your own. I'm on my last flower, gonna go back through these 2 pearls. Now we're done stringing, and I'm gonna move the design over just a little bit so I have more room on the end of my Supple Max. And now we're gonna crimp. So go ahead and grab your crimping plier and your crimp tubes. And your closed jump rings. These are little quick links. So this is basic crimping, and if you've never done this before, you may want to watch another more in-depth video on it, but I'll kind of go through it. And this is how any beaded piece is attached to chain. So you've seen it before. Even if you don't know what it is, I'm sure you have jewelry that has been crimped. Near one of the ends of your cord, hold it in your hand, string on your crimp bead, crimp tube, slide that on, and then slide on one of your closed jump rings, and then bring the tail back through the crimp tube and pull it up to that ring, okay? Now you're gonna grab your crimping plier. This is a really cool one called the Amtara crimper that you only have to squeeze 1 time with it. But I like to do another step with it. I like to squeeze it once. Whoops, come here. You get it right in that little nook. You squeeze it down and it kind of bites into your crimp tube. You can leave it like that if you want and go ahead and trim off the tail, but I like to fold it over itself to make it nice and small. So just using the same plier, you're going to squeeze. Boop. Makes it really little. And then go ahead and cut off that little tail, your flush cutter, right up next to the crimp tube, and you're done with that side. Now we're gonna do the other side, and we need to scoot all the little flowers down. and do the other side. I'm gonna cut off some of this excess here. And so now slide on your crimp tube. Then slide on your closed jump ring. And then slide it back through your crimp tube and pull tight. You don't have to pull like too tight, but where you crimp it is where it will stay. So just leave a little bit of flexibility. Don't get too close to your ring. There, that's perfect. So now get your crimping plier. And you're gonna squeeze that crimp once. And then if you want, you can fold it over itself like that. And then you'll trim off this little tail. Okay, so then the last step is to attach our chain. I really like this chain because the links open and close, so you never lose any of your chain by cutting it. Just get 2 pliers and twist open that bottom link. Slide it on, close it up. And then you can decide how long or how short you want your chain to be depending on your design. Just twist it open, slide it on. And now all we have to do, very, very last step, is just add a little clasp in the back. You may already have one attached to your chain, but I need to add one. Just twist it open and slide it on. All right, and that is it. We're finished. Let's go back over the tools and supplies we used for this project. We used our Supple Max to string on. This is the .012, a bead stopper, a crimping tool, flush cutter, 2 flat nose pliers, chain nose plier, chain, 1.8 millimeter crimp tubes, 2 closed jump rings. We had a little clasp, and of course we had our beads. These are 6 millimeter shell pearls for the flowers, and these are little 6 millimeter gemstone beads for in between. This is what it looks like on, and it's really, really cute, simple, and I love the chain in the back. So remember, you can make it as long or as short as you want for your beads. If you need to pick up any of the tools or supplies used today, check out the links in the description below. And while you're there, let us know, what other patterns would you like to see us make on YouTube? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And now that you know how to make a simplified daisy chain necklace, you can say, I made this.